Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. I wanted to do a quick little rant about something I thought you might find interesting. I'm driving a 2019 Subaru Ascent, which is a full-size 3-row SUV, crossover SUV actually, that Subaru has brought out to compete with models like the Mazda CX-9, the Honda Pilot, and so on. And what's interesting about a lot of these vehicles, or at least the newer ones, in particular this Subaru and also the Mazda CX-9, is that notwithstanding that they're big, they're nearly the size of a Chevy Tahoe. These are big vehicles, 3 rows, 7 to 8 passengers. I think they weigh close to 5,000 pounds. The engines are really small, little 4-cylinder engines with turbochargers. Now, the reasoning behind that is that, well, you're going to get better gas mileage somehow out of these things. And not so much. Not in my experience, not in the real world. Let me show you something, if I can, really quickly. I'm going to pan into the Subaru's trip information display. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully my hand's not moving too much. And you will see that I'm averaging 22.8 miles per gallon. Now, color me not particularly impressed by that. I haven't had a chance yet to get home and check the technical specifications, but I'd be willing to bet you that a V8 Tahoe doesn't get much worse mileage than that. Probably about the same. And if it is worse, I'm willing to bet you, bet you an oil change that it's only at the most a couple of miles per gallon less in real world driving. Now that's the key. On paper, these engines might get slightly better mileage. Paper meaning a government test paper. These vehicles are all designed to do the best that they possibly can on the government's fuel economy tests, which among other things allow for the stop-start cycling. A lot of new cars have engine auto stop. They shut the engine off when the vehicle is stopped, and during the test loop, it accounts for a certain amount of stoppage along the way, and that of course will increase your mileage if the car is not running. Anyway, if your car is running and if you drive it fairly normally and not like you've got a Fabergé egg underneath the gas pedal, you're probably going to find what I've found, which is that you'll average in the low 20s in a vehicle like this. Again, not particularly spectacular. And the question that comes to my mind is, well, why bother with all this? Why have these little tiny, heavily turbocharged engines when you could have a V6, certainly, and even a V8 that get about the same mileage and without being pressurized and really heavily worked in order to make that power under boost. A V8 or a V6 can kind of be a little bit lazy. It doesn't have to work that hard to make equivalent power. And really, it all comes down to the automakers, the car companies, Subaru, Mazda, everybody else, trying to come up with a way to pass these government tests. It's of no real benefit to us, the car buyers, not in my opinion. If you were getting, 27, 28 miles per gallon on average out of one of these things, okay, I could see it. That would make sense. I think it has to be, at the very least, somewhere around an 8 mile per gallon difference for it to be worth the extra cost of the turbo and the potential cost down the road in terms of durability and longevity. I like turbos, but turbos historically, and with good reason, have been used as power adders on specialty vehicles, specialty meaning high-performance vehicles, sports cars, and so on, as a way to make more power out of an already powerful engine. What's happening nowadays, though, is that turbochargers are being used as displacement replacement. They are being used to make up for the power that has been lost due to the downsizing of engines. To make a 4-cylinder engine make as much power as a V6, really you have to turbocharge it, or at least that's one of the things that they do to make them make comparable power. And I suppose if you're not on boost, if you're not pushing down on the gas pedal a lot, then yeah, you might see an incremental fuel economy gain versus the V6. But most people do want to get going. And if you push down on that gas pedal, you're going to cause the turbocharger to build up the boost, and the engine is going to be essentially working as hard as a V6 or even a bigger engine, and it's going to be using as much gas, and that's why you end up with 22 point something miles per gallon out of the thing. So I don't know. I don't see the point of it. It strikes me as kind of bizarre. I think it would be much better from the standpoint of us, the people who are buying the cars, to just go ahead and stick with a V6 that gets a little worse mileage, but it's a simpler, less hard-working engine. It's probably going to last longer, probably going to cost less to maintain over time. But what do I know? I'm just a kooky, weirdo, libertarian car guy, and your mileage may vary. Anyway, more up at epautos.com, the net's best libertarian gearhead site. Thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.